We are good to go. We have 45 minutes together this morning. This is Vinyasa flow. So we'll be moving with the breath is basically what that means. Vinyasa translates to mindful movement. So I want you to keep your awareness here on the mat. I want you to keep your awareness in the body with the breath as we're moving through all of the different poses and sequences this morning. Try not to let your mind wander off to your to-do list or your grocery list or whatever's coming later today or whatever happened yesterday. Try to stay right here now. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position. Any seated position is great. You don't have to sit in this crisscross way. This is the traditional Sukhasana or easy seat. However, you could also choose to sit with one or both legs extended out in front of you. You could sit with your back up against a wall. Really nice way to support the body. Give yourself a little bit of extra assistance in sitting tall. You could also sit on your knees if that's uncomfortable. Adding a prop or something either between your legs here or underneath your hips if you separate the feet a little bit. Sitting on a yoga block or some pillows is a great idea. But basically, you just want to make yourself as comfortable as possible so that you can close your eyes and be still. Turn your focus inward. If your eyes are open, it's tempting to look around the room, look at the phone. So instead, close down your eyes and turn your focus inward. If you need to wiggle around at all to get comfortable, feel free to do so, and then settle into a place of stillness. Rest your hands on your lap in a place where they can be comfortable. Sit up nice and tall through your spine, lifting up and out of the pelvis, all the way through the spine to the top of the head, reaching tall through your crown, finding a lightness in your heart, a heaviness, a softness in your shoulders and your arms. The back of your neck should be nice and long here. If you're someone who spends a lot of time on their phone or at the keyboard, you may find that your head is leaning forward in space. Your whole neck is jutting forward. So do your best to sort of pull back through the head, back through the neck, reach tall through the crown of the head at the same time that you pull the head backwards in space. And you should find that length on the back side of the neck rather than that leaning forward position. So nice and tall. Shoulders are gently broadening. Not necessarily pulling backward in space, but broadening. And then as you come into this nice, big, tall posture, start to relax without losing shape, without losing all of the height and the spaciousness you've created in the body. See if you can bring in a little bit more softness to the body. So let's start with the face. Bring your awareness, your attention to your face and see how much you can relax into your face. In other words, let go of any stress that you find yourself holding on to in your face. Many of us carry lots of stress, lots of tension in the face. So see if you can let go here. Do the same in your jaw. If you didn't include your jaw in your face. Do the same down the sides of the neck. Into the chest and the upper back. Let go of any stress you're holding on to in your belly. In your lower back, in your hips. Keep doing this without losing your height, your spaciousness in the body. So as you start to relax and soften, you're not coming into a slouched or rounded posture as the body relaxes so much. The head and shoulders come forward. Instead, you stay tall, you stay light, you stay broad, but you find some ease. Do this in the thighs, and in the knees, and the calves, and the shins, and the ankles. See if you can find a little bit of softness in your feet, your heels, the soles of your feet, tops of your feet, and all 10 of your toes. And in the palms of your hands, backs of your hands, each one of your 10 fingers. See if you can allow your awareness to just sit in the hands for a moment, in the fingers. With your awareness in your hands, what sensations come up? There's a lot to feel in the hands. This is the place in your body where you connect with the world around you. So sometimes when you bring your awareness to your hands, you can feel an almost tingly sensation or a warmth or a pulsing. Go ahead and take your hands. Your awareness is still on your hands, in your fingers, in your palms. Take your hands now and place them somewhere on your body. Place your hands somewhere onto your body, onto your skin. And I want you just to feel into your body, using the hands, bringing your awareness into the body. And we're already here, but see what happens when you put your hands on your body. What comes up? What kinds of thoughts or sensations or feelings arise for you when you place your hands onto your body? You feel your hands on your skin. And then next, take your hands and wrap yourself up in a big hug. So wrap yourself up in a big hug, arms crossed and wrap around toward the shoulders. Hands on the skin if you have shoulder access there. Notice what happens here. Notice how you feel with the hands here. You can even rub your arms a little bit, kind of like you would a small child, or you can imagine a mother would gently rub a child's arms if they were feeling sad or scared. You can kind of do the same for yourself here. This is actually a technique called havening. It's really wonderful for comforting yourself in a time when you don't necessarily want or need to turn to another for that comfort and that nurturing. You can get it directly from yourself, from your own hands. Give yourself the same nurturing and care and love and support that you would expect from a mother figure. And then finally, take your hands up to your neck and your shoulders. Just let the hands rest on the top of the shoulders here. This is a place in the body that many of us carry a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of tightness. So just hold your hands here. And without even massaging, without rubbing and kneading, just let the hands be still. And maybe send some loving energy through your hands, through your fingers, to your shoulders. Imagine that you could shoot out healing powers from your hands and from your fingers directly into your shoulders and your neck here. And you could heal all of the tightness, all of the soreness, all the tension just with your own hands, like a superpower. Imagine that you could do that. Visualize it, picture it. What would it look like? Would it look like little lightning bolts? Would it look like sparkles? Would it look like rainbows? What would it look like coming out of your hands? See if you can picture that. And then when you're ready, gently start to open your eyes up. Release your hands and either start to shake your wrists or roll your hands in circles, your wrists in circles. So starting to move into the body. Notice how it feels. Keep your awareness very much here in the body as we start to move. Don't let your attention wander off. If you're rolling your wrists, switch directions. If you've already done that, maybe start to shake your wrists side to side, up and down. And then we'll stretch the arms all the way overhead, big breath in. And then exhale the hands to the heart, thumbs to the chest. Again, big breath in, sweeping the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart. One more time, biggest breath in. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment, bow your head toward your hands. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that here, or you could just take another moment in stillness before we begin our practice. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's come into a tabletop pose. Come onto your hands and your knees, all fours. Stack your joints with your hands on top of your wrists, hips on top of knees. As you inhale here, let's take the belly low, chest through between the biceps, lift the gaze and the tailbone so you can find a big arch of the back. And then as you exhale, round your spine, drop your head, puff up between your shoulder blades. Inhale, take your belly low, chest through between the biceps, gaze and tailbone go up. Exhale as you round your spine, drop your head, look back toward your feet. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale, exaggerating the movement as much as you can. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time with your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Come back to a neutral spine. Take your left hand in front of your right hand. So left hand just directly in front of your right hand. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows here. Let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine. Notice how you feel, hopefully a little bit of side stretch in the left side of the ribs here. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, really pulling back into the left ribs. And then come back to a neutral spine. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders again. So both hands facing the front. And then your right hand is going to go in front of the left hand. Right hand out in front of the left hand. 3 more cat-cows. Inhale, belly low, chest forward, gaze and tailbone up. Exhale, round your spine, drop your head, puff up into the right side of the rib cage. Inhale, belly low, chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, round your spine, pull back into those right ribs. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Come back to a neutral spine and then back to center. Let's find puppy pose. Walk your hands out in front. Maybe scoot your knees back. Drop your head and chest down toward the ground. You can either stay lifted up onto the fingertips, coming into a really active puppy pose, even crawling those fingertips forward, and then pulling back into the hips, feeling a stretch all the way down through your shoulder into your chest. Or if you'd like a gentler version, you set your elbows down. You could also bend your elbows and bring your hands toward the back of your neck for more tricep stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Gently make your way back up to tabletop. And then into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips and your knees, and let's pedal out our first downward facing dog. Bending one knee and then the other, back and forth between the 2 sides. Good. Maybe shake your head no, shake your head yes. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose the whole time. Go ahead and maybe rock your hips from side to side if that would feel good. And then try lifting up onto the tippy toes and then dropping the heels back down. A couple of times like that. And then last but not least, bend deeply into the knees and then extend the legs back out. Bend into the knees and extend out. One more time, bend and all the way back up to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, really push your hands against the ground. Look forward between your hands, squat back with your legs, walk, step, or hop up to a forward fold. We'll stand all the way up, reach up, big breath in. And then exhale, drop your arms, shake it out a little bit. Coming into our first mountain pose before we start our sun salutations. If you want to roll the shoulders a couple of times, that would be a great idea here. Break up any tension that has started to build up already. And maybe roll the head a couple of times one direction. And then a couple the other way. And then come back to center. We'll find mountain pose. Feet about hip distance width apart on your mat. So not necessarily super wide on the mat, not necessarily together, feet touching, but right underneath your hips. Your legs are going to start to activate here. So you're going to lift through the arches of your feet. Turn your thighs on, turn your glutes on, brace the belly for an imaginary punch in the gut, so kind of tightening up across the front. Let your arms drop heavy, even shake them out again if you need to. Find that lightness in your heart and in the crown of your head, so you're standing tall. From here, big breath in, arms go up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, plant your hands underneath your shoulders on the mat. Step or hop your feet back into a high or a knee plank, your choice. Keep the head lifted, back of the neck long. Look down at the floor. We're going to lower all the way down to the mat here, hugging the elbows in by your sides. And then come to baby cobra. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the hands, squeeze the heels. As you exhale, tuck your toes. Big, strong push-up through high or knee plank. Back to downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of breaths here. If you want to pedal out the feet or make any of those movements that we made before, feel free to do that. Otherwise, just find some stillness. Relax your face. Keep pushing with the hands so the arms are really strong here. The knees are soft. Hips are pulling backwards in space. Next, inhale. Look forward between your hands. Squat back with your legs. Exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet up to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, shake it out. Drop your arms. Uh-oh, having a problem. Intermission. Okay, here we go. Next round, inhale, arms go to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, plant your hands under your shoulders. Step or hop back to high or knee plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower to the mat with control, nice and slow. Inhale, baby cobra, lift your chest, lift your hands. This time, let's turn it into locust pose. Reach your hands back toward your feet. Squeeze your heels and then lift your feet up off the ground as well. As you exhale, replant your hands, tuck your toes. Push up through high or knee plank, back to downward dog. 3 breaths right here. Next breath in, look forward, squat back with the legs. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up strong, reach up high. Exhale, shake it out, drop your arms. Again, inhale, arms go up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, plant your hands under your shoulders. Step or hop back to plank, big breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower with control. Hug the elbows by your sides. Inhale through baby cobra to locust pose just like last time. Then, if you want to, you can bend your knees, grab a hold of your feet if you can, and start to kick back into your hands for bow pose. Holding here, take a breath in and out, in and out. One more breath in, squeeze the glutes. And then exhale, release, tuck your toes, push up through high or knee plank, back to downward dog. 3 breaths. All right, take your hands a little bit narrower than usual for your downward facing dog, a little bit closer together. Look between your hands, squat back with your legs, walk, step, or hop the feet to the outside of the hands, coming into a malasana or yogi squat. So I'm going to turn to the front, but you keep facing your direction. You can take your feet and either angle them out or angle them straight forward or somewhere in between, depending on what feels good for your body. Ideally, we're working on getting the heels to the ground, but that doesn't work for everybody, so maybe your heels are lifted. Wherever you are, you can either take your elbows to your knees, to the insides of your knees. You could also take your forearms inside your knees if your heels are up. If your heels are down, triceps inside the knees works a little better. We're having technical difficulties today. Uh-oh, we have low battery. I think we'll make it through. Okay, if I cut out, the battery died, so we'll do our best here. All right, Malasana Yogi Squat. Lift your heart up toward your hands. Widen the knees with the elbows. And then go ahead and relax. Let your shoulders come forward, let your head drop, let your knees come together. And then let's do that again. Lift the heart up toward the hands, push the elbows into the knees, widen the knees. And then let yourself relax. Let the shoulders round, let the knees come together. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale, relax. And then let's let the fingertips come down, straighten the legs, let the hips come up, walk the hands to the outside of your left foot, and then right foot. And then left foot, and then right foot. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Back to center. Bend the knees, squat down. Malasana, yogi squat. Same thing again. We're going to add a little bit of a twist this time. So lift your heart up toward your hands. Press the elbows into the knees widen. Take your right fingertips to the ground. Keeping the elbow or tricep inside the knee, reach the left hand up. Inhale. As you exhale, come back to center, hands to heart, and then we'll go to the other side. Left fingertips down, right hand up. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Switch sides. Left hand up, right hand down. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Switch sides. Left hand down, right hand up. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Switch. Right hand down, left hand up. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Last one. Left hand down, right hand up. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. And then we'll plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, your choice of back bend, either baby cobra, locust, or bow pose. Inhale. Exhale, land the hands and the feet. Push up through higher knee plank, back to downward dog. Take your right leg to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Keep the knee touching the tricep. Slide it down the arm to the right wrist. And then slide it back up the arm to the right tricep. Down, touch the right wrist. Up to the right tricep. And then down to the right wrist. One more time. Up to the tricep. And down to the wrist. Land the knee on the mat. Take the toes over to the left side of the mat. Slide the foot back for pigeon pose. Landing the back knee, untucking the toes, coming down onto your elbows, or stacking your hands to rest your head. We'll take 5 breaths here, and then we'll switch sides. See how much you can relax in 5 breaths. How much can you soften in 5 cycles of breath? Not just in your hips, but in your face, in your hands and your feet, fingers and toes, neck and shoulders. One more breath. From here, slowly come back up to your palms. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're going to slide back to a three-legged dog. Kick that right leg all the way up. Bend the knee, open the hips if it feels good. Maybe circle the right knee a couple of times. And then we'll set that right foot down next to the left foot. Other side, left leg up, inhale. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. See if you can get it to touch the left tricep. And then slide it down the left arm to the left wrist. Back up to the left tricep. Down to the left wrist. Left tricep, keep the knee touching the arm. Left wrist, one more time. Tricep and wrist. Slide those left toes over to the right side of the mat. Slide the back foot backward. Untuck the back toes. And then come down onto your elbows. You could also stack your hands and rest your head. And again, we'll take 5 breaths here in our pigeon. See if you can slow down your breath, especially your exhales. Last breath. And then when you're ready, start to come back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Slide back to three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips to the side. Stay here or circle your knee a couple of times. Set the left foot down next to the right. We're going to do that one more time on each side. We'll hold it a little bit longer on each side. Take your right leg to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. 3 times. You're going to slide it down to the wrist and up to the tricep. Wrist, tricep. One more. Wrist, tricep. And then you'll set it down behind the wrist. Take it over, the foot over to the left side of the mat. Scoot the back toes back, untuck them, and then come down onto your elbows. Or stack your hands, rest your head. We'll take our 10 breaths, and then in case the iPad dies, and in case the camera dies, we're gonna do this again on the other side. And then we'll take some stretches before Shavasana, so you know where we're going. If the iPad dies and we lose the end of our class, take some stretches. Take this one on the other side. Take some stretches on your back before Shavasana, like a twist, happy baby. And then take Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Hopefully we get there together, but if in case we don't, that's where we're gonna go. So keep breathing here on the first side of your pigeon. Let's say we've got about 5 more breaths. And again, see how much you can slow down your exhales. See how much you can soften into the body. 3 more. Last one. And then slowly start to rise back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, slide back to three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips to the side. Stay here or circle your knee a few times. Go ahead, both feet land on the mat. Other side, left leg up, inhale. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Get it to touch. Slide it down to the wrist 3 times. Back up to the tricep. Wrist, tricep, wrist, tricep, and then land it on the mat behind the wrist. Take the toes to the right side of the mat. Scoot the back leg back. Untuck the toes. Come down to the forearms. Maybe stack the hands, rest the head. 10 slow breaths here. In and out through the nose. Letting go just a little bit more with each cycle of breath. You can do it. Try not to wiggle around. If you can stay still, stay still. Try not to fidget. Try not to move or fix your way out of the discomfort that you might feel here. Just be where you are. You've done hard things before. Certainly, you can do this now. Instead of trying to escape the discomfort that you feel, what would happen if you just stay in it? What would happen if you even were to surrender to it? To really allow yourself to stay put. Let's take 3 more breaths. When you feel ready, slowly come back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Slide back to 3-legged dog. One last time. Bend the knee, open the hips to the side. Maybe circle your knee in space. And then set both feet down on the mat. Let's bring the hands together on the mat or narrower. You're going to bend back into the knees, look forward, step or hop to a Malasana yogi squat one more time. Notice how you feel returning to this yogi squat after our pigeon work. Lift the heart up toward the hands, widen the knees. Maybe wag the tail just a little bit. And then go ahead and take a seat and roll down onto your back. Bring your knees to your chest. Let's find a happy baby. Good. Grabbing a hold of either the feet, the ankles, or the big toes. And then maybe rocking a little bit from side to side if it would feel good. Maybe even closing down your eyes at this point. You can bring the soles of your feet together if that would feel good. And if you can reach, maybe even interlace the fingers around the pinky edges of the feet. Really pulling the feet in toward the body. Perhaps even gently pushing your knees out wide. Not with your elbows or your hands, but just with the musculature of your legs, pulling the knees out wide. Let your head be heavy. If you'd like to, you could take one or both legs and try kicking them out long. You could alternate between the sides. I heard someone call this bow and arrow pose. I kind of like the name of that one. Feels appropriate. And then go ahead and come back to center. Release your hands from your feet. Bring your knees together. Open up your arms wide. Let your knees drop to the left side, rolling into a spinal twist. Maybe it would feel better to scoot your hips toward the center of your mat and then roll. Feel free to adjust your twist in any way. If it would feel better to cross your right leg over your left leg, you get a little deeper twist. You could also take your legs straight out to the side or just the top leg. Lots of different ways to adjust here. Feel free to make it work for your body. And then whenever you feel ready, go ahead and switch sides. Knees come back to center. Maybe you scoot the hips to the left and let the knees drop to the right. Wiggle and settle your weight in. Find just the right position and shape for your body. See if you can slow down your breath even more. And then whenever you feel balanced, gently make your way back to center. Bring the hips back to the center of the mat. Lay your arms long by your sides, palms face up. You can either keep your knees bent if that feels best for your lower back, or if you feel okay to extend the legs long, go ahead and stretch the legs out toward the opposite edges of your mat. Wiggle around until you are as comfortable as you can be, and then close down your eyes and come into your Shavasana. Relaxing as much as you can from head to toe. Maybe relaxing just a little bit more with each exhale that goes by. Relaxing even your fingers and your toes. Even your eyelids and your eyebrows. Even your tongue and your jaw. Picture every cell in your entire body relaxing. Every cell in your body joining together in Shavasana, your final pose. Taking your time here in Shavasana, spending as long as you would like, at least a few more breaths. If not a few more minutes, you could spend 10 or 20 minutes here if you've got the time for it today. Thank you so much for sharing your morning, your day, and your practice with me. The light and the love in me honors the light and the love in you. We'll see you soon. Namaste.